Hear the hunger in my voice, they used to tell me to speak up. The problem was of what I was saying, they couldn't keep up. Instead of moving around with some patience, they tried to speed up. It got colder than a bitter bitch, found me a way to heat up. What's a favor for a favor if we all didn't make it? Kept it 100 with everybody, but they just gon' change. I ain't get caught up in the hype, cause I ain't feel like I made it. Couldn't picture me here now, but here's your moment to frame it. And I ain't never understand that self-entitlement spirit. I felt your vibe, I don't wanna get near it. Before I made the appearance, I took a second, took a look in the mirror. This God, Lord, the only thing that I fear. Y'all got me fucked up. This all passion, it's tradition, it ain't fashion. It's no action, they make threats and it's still passing. I think massive, no respond, that's still tact. Y'all should quit rapping. Cheap shots, I'm cinematic. I ain't average, I'm an overthrow fanatic. How I go, you lose and win like asthmatic. I got first, that's automatic. I'm the best in my division. In the ghetto like the pigeons, in the hood like the engine. You a bird for that chicken. I don't fake split decisions cause my mind made up, nigga. We in the end of time, but my time ain't up. Now when I was young and running wild and wide-eyed like a cabbage patch, I had to get it as vivid, adapted to my habitat. It's certain shit I won't do, certain shit you can't prove. My shit sound like a payday, yours like more when the rip. If I had $1 for every dime you counted, I would be broke. Watch it be close, got a better chance, boxing the ghost. And they know I'm raw, and they know the squad, and I'm feeling large, still in charge. I don't make it follow, I follow the law. Standing tall like they hear on March. I just got a call from my bro, he behind the wall, he told me let it off. Niggas lying for some cat, I got a different line in me. Everybody intimidated, I got that guy in me. You get focused on them dimes, I'd rather keep my nine with me. Help me get this off the ground, just know you won't fly with me now.
I try to make the news, I ain't playing by the rules. I've been trying to play it cool, but that ain't gon' be the building. Y'all out here looking like fool. Home the truth, I ain't never had to choose.
I'm trying to get beamed up, man, y'all trying to make the news. I ain't playing by the rules. I've been trying to play it cool, but that ain't gon' pay the bill. Y'all out here looking like fool. Home of the truth, y'all ain't never had to choose. Trying to get beamed up, man, y'all trying to make the news. I ain't playing by the rules. I've been trying to play it cool, but that ain't gon' pay the bill. Y'all out here looking like fool. Home of the truth, y'all ain't never had to choose. Trying to get beamed up.
Kill the beat.
I don't know who, somebody need to hear this. Y'all don't speak Hebrew, that's Yiddish. How the fuck you try to label us anti-Semitic? We the Israelites, blacks, native Hispanics. The Germans getting locked up for the Holocaust. Meanwhile, black people still up in the Holocaust. 100 million of us died in the transatlantic. 6 million died, y'all want the world to never forget it. You can never be a Jew, you a Ashkenaz. This ain't a star dum-dum, a gun die or die. Yeah, Yeezy told the truth and got ostracized. Not one person in the Bible had on a yarmulke. We were slaves in America like we was in Egypt. Y'all don't even fit the curses in the Torah neither. Y'all was blind to the truth, I had to make it clear. How Jerusalem, your land, your people came from Europe. That was 1947, your menorah got 9 sticks, it's really only 7. Yeah, it's us against the world, Armageddon. This what happened when you inherit lies from your ancestors. Y'all the synagogue of Satan with them black hats. Your whole nation sitting ducks, Aflacs. Bunch of thieves and culture vultures, ain't nothing kosher. To tell the truth, you vagabonds don't have a culture. Macedonia, Alexander and Philip, you a convert, so tell me, how the fuck is you Israel? That don't make you the people just cause you litter. Why my people can't hate your people like y'all hate Hitler? All the prophets was black and was called nigga. Y'all don't even fit the description that's in the scriptures. Abraham, all the way down to Jacob, we the real Jews. Y'all don't study Christ, y'all follow the Talmud. Keep it real, yeah, let's keep it real. Cold hard truth, it give you chills. Say y'all Jewish cause y'all ain't really them. About to do them like Hammond, it's the Feast of Purim. UPK undefeated, this an easy win. We was born fighting, y'all the evil twin. Jacob took hold of his heel, then out came his little red bastard and they kosher deals. It's only 12 tribes, y'all trying to make it 13. Esau despised his birthright, the Lord cursed him. He ain't the devil, who is? I'm still searching. Ask your rabbi, why he get them babies herpes? I don't know what's worse, that or you claiming that you a Maccabee. I'm about to cancel, everybody try to cancel ye. I ain't afraid to speak, that's what I do. They riding to the core, I'm just judging them by their fruit. cause they ain't suffering curses. If I was carnal, I promise I'd punch you in person. I know this an uncomfortable subject. They making millions off our culture and black people suffering from it. Yeah, they don't believe in Christ, they the Antichrist. Make a living off of niggas, they a parasite. I ain't afraid to tell the truth, niggas terrified. I'm about to go DEFCON 4, I ain't satisfied.
That is proof. That is absolute proof that they know we are the real Jews. That's absolute proof. Like, he got the records. Go find me a white Jew on any archaeology in Egypt anywhere. You will never find a piece of archaeology with white people as slaves in Egypt. So don't tell me that they were slaves and it's their identity, and they know it. And I know the blasphemy of them that say they are Jews and are not. The Lord knows the blasphemy of you so-called white people that say you are Jews and you are not Jews. You are not the people of the law. You are not God's chosen people. God's chosen people are living in the ghettos of America. God's chosen people are in poverty and depression in the streets of America. God's chosen people are walking around in America with no identity. That's where God's chosen people are.
Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2. Yeah, it's gonna fall. It's like a little shaky, like, and that cord is kind of like balancing it a little bit. It's cricket on. Yeah, it's too loud. All right. Shalom Yahbashim Shalom Yahabashim Yahshua Barakathum to the brothers. Shalom Yahweh Shema the Thumb Bashim Yahshua to the sisters. Salakia. We got Tuesday Brotherhood class. We're gonna get into it. The water for tuning in. We're going to get into a heavy topic, all right? You know what I'm saying? First of all, what does that title mean? The bride, the groom, and the harlot, okay? So for those who don't know, you know what I mean? For those first tuning in, don't really know exactly the knowledge of the Bible, you know what I mean? We got to understand that the Lord, when he speaks to his people, when he speaks to all Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, he's speaking some precepts. He will speak to you in metaphors. Okay, so we have the bride, the groom, and the harlot because these are different titles that were set upon certain people. Okay, now for one, we're gonna get into it, but just giving it up right now. You know what I mean? As the bride, we get into the scriptures that the Lord is talking about his chosen people. He's talking about Israel. He's talking about all Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Okay. Now, the confusion comes from the Christian church because when you think that the Lord just loves everybody, he accepts everybody, salvation is for everybody, and that's what they teach. But that's completely false. You know what I'm saying? And by the end of this class, you should have an understanding that the Lord has only chosen Israel, and that the Lord has a particular love for his people. Right. You know what I mean? And he compares it to his bride. Now, is that getting into like the Lord feels an attraction to his people? Like he's, you know what I mean? Like we're in some type of relationship like that, like a husband and wife? No. The Lord is using that as a metaphor on how much he loves his people, on how much the covenant that he made for his people, the promise that he made. You know what I mean? Just the same way that you will make a promise when you choose to marry a woman. When you choose to lay with a woman and you marry a woman, you're choosing to be with that person forever. You're choosing to be with that rib forever. You know what I'm saying? The same way the Lord chose his people. You know what I mean? And he chose us to be his people forever. So we're going to get an understanding about that. So what we're going to read is a couple of precepts that go into the metaphor of Israel being the bride and the Lord being the groom. Christ also made a metaphor. He made a what's the word I'm looking for? He made a metaphor as well, as far as him being the groom as well. You know what I'm saying? But we're gonna get an understanding on that when we get into reading what is actually going on, who God's actual chosen people are. Okay, so what we're going to read right now is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 3. And we're going to go through the whole chapter because the whole chapter is getting into details about exactly what the prophecy is for God's chosen people. You know what I mean? That he will marry us, that he'll have a promise for us, he'll marry onto us. We broke that promise by breaking the law, by laying in bed with other gods, you know what I mean, following different doctrines, you know what I mean, following different idol worships, you know what I mean. So he compares that to he's comparing that to adultery, you know what I mean, and he compares us to being whores because when you married on to someone, you don't step out your marriage. You know what I'm saying? When you married on to your husband, you don't step out your marriage. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna get into it. So if I may, can I get the book of Jeremiah chapter 3 and verse 1?
This is the book of Jeremiah chapter 3 and 1. They say, if a man put away his wife and she go from him and become another man's, shall he return unto her again? So
this is a rule that goes with marriage. If a woman marries onto a man, she's supposed to be with that man forever. She doesn't marry on to another man. The only circumstance of her being able to marry on to another man is if that man dies. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes it don't even go in that direction. But the only way that a woman is even obligated into marrying onto another man is if that man dies. So what he's saying is that a man should not put his wife away, and a woman shouldn't step out of her marriage. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But he's saying, okay, if a woman steps out of her marriage, should you bring her back? Should you forgive her for cheating on you? You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, keep going on.
Shall she return unto her? Shall he return unto her again? Shall not that land be greatly polluted?
Shouldn't the land be greatly polluted? Shouldn't that whole household be polluted? She is polluted because she is now an adulteress because she chose to be with someone while she had a husband. You know what I'm saying? So she's polluted now. You know what I'm saying? So should he return onto her now that she's polluted? Go ahead.
But thou hast played the harlot with many lovers.
So he's comparing Israel to that circumstance. A woman stepping out of her marriage. A woman being married on to a husband and her laying with other men. You know what I'm saying? Right. But this is what Israel has done spiritually. You know what I mean? This is what we've done to our covenant. We made a promise that we were going to be, that the Lord our God would be our God forever. Right. But what do? We serve Christmas. What do? We serve our birthdays. What do? We eat pork. We do all the things that the heathen has taught us to do. And we steer from the laws that the Lord has given us. Right. You know what I'm saying? So us steering away from the laws is being considered us stepping away from our marriage and marrying on to false idols. Right. Go ahead, keep going on.
But thou hast played the harlot with many lovers, yet return again to me, saith the Lord. So we sat there and we played with many different lovers. We played with the Egyptian gods. We played with the Edomite gods, the Roman gods. We played with a lot of different gods, and we still continue to keep doing this today. But our people are lost. Our people need to understand that the true God that we need to serve, all Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, is the true God in the Bible who really, really loves you enough to compare you to a wife. But we're playing the harlot. We're playing the harlot by ignoring the love of our true power, our true God, and doing the things that he told us exactly not to do. You know what I mean? Which is laying in bed with different idols. That's what the comparison is being brought as. You can go ahead, other one. If I could just real quick.
Come on.
Just to add to what you're saying, it's kind of like when you see a woman and you like, dang, she's so pretty. She looks so nice. She has so much potential. Like, you will make a man will be happy to have you, but then you find out she's a whore. And you're like, damn, like you got so much potential. Why you a whore? You don't need to be a whore. You know what I'm saying? Like anybody would die to have you. Right. But you out here being a whore. Right. You know what I'm saying? And now it's like, well, it kind of lessens your value. That's kind of like similar to how Israel is. Like we are that beautiful woman that the Lord is, happy to have once like we got everything with the total package, but we choose to open our legs to every man that gives us attention. Right. Or every God that shows us attention. Right. And now the Lord's like, damn. You know what I'm saying? It's like
no, exactly. That's That's exactly what we're gonna reach on to. I got another precept that goes into the Lord actually speaking about this. You know what I mean? But that is a direct comparison because you know what I mean. You see that on social media today. Some of the most beautiful women are all just whores because what happened? What happened with them? They don't have to be whores. They don't have to put their bodies out like that. They don't have to show them their skin off like that. But physically beautiful, Salaki.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't want to put the judgment of beauty within the physical, you know what I mean, appearance, but you know what I mean, because the virtual woman is the most important. Right. But physically beautiful women, they get their value within showing off what exactly the Lord gave them. You know what I mean, which is their physical. I mean, just giving them access giving everyone access to their box in general makes them feel secure, make them feel wanted. You know what I'm saying? And that's a true fact. You know what I mean? We see that all today. We see it like a woman won't accept herself as being beautiful unless she's being a whore. Because why? All the other women are whores, and all the women are being given gifts because they're so slutty and they're so naked and they're so revealing. You know what I mean? Being modest and being covered up and being a righteous woman, there's no gift that comes with it, which is why no woman wants to do it these days. You know what I mean? So that's a great comparison. I mean, but we're gonna continue with what we on verse 2? Come, you can go ahead, keep going.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 3, verse 2. Lift up thine eyes into the high places and see what thou hast been lying with. And in the ways hast thou sat for them, as the Arabian in the wilderness.
Mm-hmm.
And thou hast polluted the land with thy whoredoms and with thy wickedness.
So we're acting like a heathen. We're establishing ourselves like a slut. You know what I mean? We just got our legs open, ready for any type of false idol to come and make us feel good. You know what I mean? That's it. That's exactly what we're doing. You know what I mean? No different from what a whore does. She opens her legs to every man to make herself feel secure, make herself feel beautiful. You know what I mean? That's exactly what we're doing. We want to feel accepted. We want to feel beautiful. So we're opening ourselves up to different idols, which we already have a living power. We already have a living God. We have a powerful God. We have a God that could cause complete destruction on our enemies, but we choose to throw that God to the side because we want to be accepted by the majority instead of being holy, which means to be separate. But go ahead.
Verse 3. Therefore the showers have been withholden, and there has been no latter rain.
Mm-hmm.
And thou hadst a whore's forehead. Thou refusest to be ashamed.
Just real quick, we have a whore's forehead. Just to make that make sense, we're thinking like a slut. You know what I mean? Like when you get Revelations, when it's talking about the mark of the beast, would be in your wrist and your forehead. You know what I mean? You're thinking your thoughts and the things that you do. You know what I mean? We're thinking like whores. We're thinking like Christians. We're thinking like Islam. We're thinking like Catholics. We're thinking like fake Israelites. You know what I'm saying? We're thinking like people who actually have no absolute knowledge of the Bible, who don't care about the God in the Bible, who just want to live their lives and just fulfilling all the lust that's within them. Right. You know what I'm saying? That's the way that our thoughts are. Well, you can go ahead. I don't want.
Verse 4. Wilt thou not from this time cry unto me, my Father? Thou art my slacking. Will thou not from this time cry unto me, my Father? Thou art the God of my youth.
Mm-hmm.
Will he reserve his anger forever?
Mm-hmm.
Will he keep it to the end? Behold, thou hast spoken and done evil things as thou couldest.
So we're going to find out if the Lord is going to keep his anger forever. Go ahead.
The Lord said unto me in the days of Josiah the king,
mm-hmm.
Thou hast seen that which backsliding Israel hath done.
Mm-hmm.
She is gone up upon every high mountain and under every green tree, and there hath played the harlot.
So first it was Israel. You know what I mean? First it was the 10 tribes. You know what I mean? We got to get an understanding about that. I mean, who are the 10 tribes? The 10 tribes were being considered as Israel because we were split at that time period. It was Israel and it was Judah. You know what I mean? Or it was the northern tribe and the southern tribe. So all in all, at the end of the day, Judah was still following the Lord, but Israel decided to serve other gods. So the Lord cut them off. But at the end of the day, what did Judah do? Let's keep going.
And I said, after she had done all these things, turn thou unto me. But she returned not.
She didn't come back. She kept on doing what she was doing. Go ahead.
And her treacherous sister, Judah, saw it.
Treacherous sister. So you seeing the comparison in as far as when it comes to what is being metaphored is that we're being compared to women. You know what I mean? Her treacherous sister. You know what I mean? The her. We're gonna make this all make sense in a minute, but we're gonna keep on going.
Verse 8, and I saw for all the causes whereby backsliding Israel committed adultery.
Mm-hmm.
I had put her away and given her a bill of divorce.
Mm-hmm.
Yet her treacherous sister Judah feared not,
Mm-hmm.
but went and played the harlot also.
So playing the harlot. So the Lord married onto us. He gave us a covenant. You know what I mean? He gave us a promise that he was going to be our God forever. We broke that promise by serving other gods. So we committed adultery. We slept with other gods, false gods, Salaki. You know what I mean? False idols. We slept with false idols and we completely abandoned the one who was actually married onto us. So we committed adultery. You know what I mean? So the Lord wrote a bill of divorce. He cut Israel off. But Judah, the southern tribe, did the same thing as well. You know what I mean? Benjamin, you know what I mean? Judah and half of Levi, you know what I mean? Did the same thing as well and followed suit as far as disobeying the Lord and serving false idols. And what happened? He wrote a bill of divorce as well for us. Now, the Lord could have kept us cut off. He could have just cut us off as a people, could have destroyed us as a nation. But what does he do? Because he's merciful, what does he do? Let's keep going. Good. I think we on
Verse 9. And it came to pass through the likeness of her whoredom that she defiled the land and committed adultery with stones and with stocks.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 10. And yet with all her and yet for all this her treacherous sister Judah hath not turned unto me with her whole heart, but feignedly, saith the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
And the Lord saith unto me, that backsliding Israel had justified herself more than treacherous Judah.
Mm-hmm.
Go and proclaim these words toward the north, and say, return, thou backsliding Israel, saith the Lord, and I will not cause my anger to fall upon you, for I am merciful, saith the Lord. I will not keep anger forever.
So the Lord is merciful. The Lord is not going to be angry with us forever. And we see that the actions that he's committing on our enemies, you know what I mean, on the people who have put us in captivity, who have unalived us, who have abused us, you know what I'm saying? We see the actions that have happened to us from this nation. We see the Lord is overturning that situation. We see that the Lord is really destroying this place day by day. You know what I mean? And as you are in your patience and as you start to analyze and see what's going on in this nation, you see that this place is slowly but surely beginning to fall and crumble. You know what I mean? But it's not just going to stop there. You know what I mean? Because the Lord is not just going to destroy this place, but he's going to utterly destroy this place. Right. Why? Because of the love that he has for us. We sat there and we loved another nation. We loved the heathen nations. We went and followed their ways. We went and followed their gods. We served and praised their gods. We brought them offerings. We brought them feast offerings and gifts and everything. And at the end of the day, what did we get out of return? They killed us. So they underlined us. They robbed us. They abused us. You know what I mean? And that was the reward for us serving false idols. You know what I mean? Serving heathen nations. Our reward was being abused. You know what I'm saying? So now the Lord is saying, you know what I mean? The only thing that's going to pretty much save us out of this abuse is him coming to give us salvation, getting us out of this place, getting us out of the torment that this place is giving us. He's saying that he loves us enough that he will not stay angry forever, but he's going to allow us to get what we wanted, which was to be accepted by, heathen nations. Now, us not knowing, us not having enough education within our bodies, within our minds, we thought that we were going to be loved by heathen nations. We thought that the heathen nations, gods was going to have some type of respect for us, or they was going to show us the same of what they were showing them, or whatever was going on. But at the end of the day, we got exactly what we was asking for. We ran to people who hated us and thought that they would love us. We thought that they was going to treat us different. But at the end of the day, they treated us exactly the same way that they've been treating us since the biblical days. They destroyed us. They unalived us. They abused us, and it's been going on from this time on. But this is the prophecy. This is what the Lord is saying. He's saying that he's going to commit a bill of divorce. Now, does that mean that he's going to marry us and then marry the whole world? No. That bill of divorce is that he's going to cut us off for a minute to allow us to be handled from the heathen nations. But then when he decides that he's going to rescue us from that abuse, then he's going to take in his time period to put his power in to rescue us. Same thing that he did for us in the time of the Egyptians. We followed and served the Egyptians, and what happened out of that? We got put in the same position that we're in today. So on and so forth with every different empire that has been destroying us. But we'll continue for time's sake.
It's like, it's like when these other nations see us serving these other gods, they think more or less of us than they already do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like when they see that you're serving their God, they're like, dang, like the Israelite or an Israelite is serving my God.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So like how you say, like how it makes them hate you or you follow after them, and then like they think to see the further destroy you, because first of all, they hate you for even being an Israelite. And then second off, when they see you doing what they want you to do, it gives them this happy, angry feeling.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And that's where the destruction comes from.
Right.
And the Lord also ultimately doesn't take pleasure in it because you're serving a false God. That's not him. You know what I mean?
Right. Nah, so like you made me want to skip to Ezekiel already, but because everything you're saying is everything that Ezekiel broke down on. You know what I mean? Ezekiel, like I want to get to that. Let's just let's get through because what chapter we on? What verse we on, Slaki?
13.
No, 13. All right, we just gonna get all the way through on Jeremiah, and then we'll keep moving forward because I want to hurry and get to Ezekiel because everything you're saying all coincides with that. Yeah.
13?
Yeah, verse 13. Verse 13. Yeah,
the book of Jeremiah, chapter 3, verse 13. Only acknowledge thy iniquity, that thou hast transgressed against the Lord thy God.
So, like, if I may, real quick, just a brief little, okay. All the Lord is asking us is to acknowledge the fact that we were wrong. Take some accountability. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the problem with our people. Like, we try so hard to be right. We try so hard to be spiritually found that we can't even acknowledge the fact that we were serving God wrong the whole time. You know what I mean? You tell a brother or sister about their birthday, they just like, oh, whoa, no, wait a minute, hold on. The Lord don't care about that. You know what I mean? Yeah. You tell them about Christmas. Oh, wait a minute, hold on. That's representation of Christ. Like, right. You tell them about anything. You tell them about pork. Oh, yeah, well, the Lord said you can eat whatever. It don't matter. You can eat humans. You know what I mean? All meat is good meat. You know what I mean? That's what the Lord say. But all in all, at the end of the day, the Lord just wants us to have some accountability and some acknowledgement that we are wrong in the way that we are serving him. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, we have to the first thing of knowing is that you are not anything. You're absolutely nothing. You know what I mean? That's the first thing. Then acknowledging the fact that you are nothing without God and his law. So when you acknowledge that and you start to look towards his law, you start to see the law orders us to do this. The law orders us to do that. The law doesn't talk about Christmas. The law doesn't talk about birthdays. The law says that pork, you shouldn't eat it nor touch the dead carcass. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like when you start to see all these different things, you start to acknowledge the fact that, okay, maybe I was wrong. But you have to have an open mind to it. And the problem with our people is that we just want to be so right all the time. That's the problem with us. That's why the Lord is just asking for accountability. And you ever just went into being in a marriage, you like, I'm just talking to the married folk right now. Being in a marriage, you just when you in an argument that you know that you're right on, all you just want is that you know you're right, but you're how can I say it? They're investing into that argument because you want to hear that person acknowledge the fact that they're wrong. That's it. That's it. That's all you want. You know what I mean? And that's just what the Lord wants from us. He just wants us to acknowledge the fact that we sinned, we did wrong to him, and now it's time for us to serve him the right way. He doesn't care about the whole, oh yeah, well, I'm from this camp or this camp or this camp. There's only one body. You know what I'm saying? There's only one way of serving the Lord the right way. But you only gonna find that when you know the law, and you know that if you study the law and you know what the Lord truly recommends from us, you understand what body you should be a part of. Right. Because a lot of people want to do certain things that are outside of the body. You know what I mean? But if you actually truly love the Lord and not truly just love your leader, you know what I mean? Then you understand, all right, these brothers over here, they talking about this, and the Bible says that. These brothers talk about this, and the Bible says that. They actually have not said one thing wrong that the Bible says don't do. You know what I'm saying? Right. They're acknowledging everything that the Bible says to do. Now, yeah, modern day times is telling us that we shouldn't do this or do that, and modern day times is telling us that we shouldn't have multiple wives or we shouldn't have this and that. But at the end of the day, what they're teaching is just directly straight out the Bible. You know what I mean? So that's where you need to go. And all you have to do is just acknowledge the fact that you don't know the law. You don't know the Bible. You don't know God. Right. And just acknowledge the fact that you did wrong and you were serving them the wrong way. And then you can start your path on trying to serve them the right way. That's it. Like I said, I was going to be quick. That was not. But where we at? 14?
13.
13? Okay, come on.
Only acknowledge thine iniquity, that thou hast transgressed against the Lord thy God, and hast scattered thy ways to the strangers under every green tree. Mm-hmm. And ye have not obeyed my voice, saith the Lord. Verse 14. Turn, O backsliding children.
Turn around.
Saith the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
For I am married unto you. Mm-hmm. And I will take you, one of a city and two of a family, and I will bring you to Zion. Mm-hmm. And I will give you pastors according to thine
to mine heart. Oh yeah, okay.
And I will give you pastors according to my heart, which shall feed you with knowledge and understanding.
Okay, so we can stop there because I wanted to get all the way down to 25. If you got time, you know what I mean, read through that. But you know what I mean, I want, for the sake of time, we already see that the Lord is acknowledging the fact that he is the groom and we are the brides. We married on to the Lord. You know what I mean? Now, is this a romantic type of relationship? No. This is a promise. This is a covenant. You know what I mean? And the Lord made a covenant to us that we were going to be his people forever. And he's been holding on to that promise. You know what I mean? He only turned away from us is because we committed adultery, which was laying around with different nations. But for the sake of time, you know what I'm saying? We're going to just, if you can give me 23 to 25, and we wrapped Jeremiah 3 up.
You don't want 20?
Verse 23 through 25.
I was saying 20 gotta have a little point.
Oh yeah, I mean, if you want to do that, we can do that too. Okay. I just wanted for the sake of time because I got 3 more just like these.
Okay, verse 23, the book of Jeremiah 3:23. Mm-hmm. Truly in vain is salvation hoped for from the hills and from the multitude of the mountains. Truly is the Lord our God is the salvation of Israel. For shame hath devoured the labor of our fathers from our youth. Their flocks and their herds their sons and their daughters.
Mm-hmm.
We lie down in our shame, and confusion covereth us. For we have sinned against the Lord our God, and we are fathers from our youth, even unto this day, and have not obeyed the voice of the Lord our God.
Right, come. That's exactly what it's talking about. When of us disobeying, and that's us having to deal with the situations that we're dealing with: captivity, slavery, abuse, unalivement. You know what I mean? What you were saying was completely right. 20 is a heavy verse. I'm gonna read it real quick. It says, "Surely as a wife treacherously departed from her husband, so have ye dealt treacherously with me, O house of Israel, saith the Lord." You know what I mean? So the Lord is comparing us to his wife. It doesn't have anything to do with anything romantic. He's just talking about the promise that we made. When you make a promise to have a rib, you making a promise that you're going to be with that rib forever. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I mean? The only thing that can stop a woman from to be with another man is death. But the thing about it is, the Lord, he's going to live forever. So his people are going to be, his wife is going to be forever as well. You know what I mean? So his people, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, will be forever. That's the promise. That's what he promised on to us. Okay. So let's go to real quick the book of Hosea, chapter 4, and verse 15 through 19. Read that real quick, and then we'll get into the point that that Adawan was getting into. You know what I mean? In Ezekiel 16.
It's like, what was the verse?
Hosea chapter 4, verse 15 through 19.
This is the book of Hosea, chapter 4, verse 15. Though thou, Israel, play the harlot, yet let not Judah offend, and come not ye unto Gilgal, neither go ye unto Bethaven.
Salaki, could you start at 13 on them?
That's like, come. The book of Hosea, chapter 4, verse 13. They sacrifice upon the tops of the mountains, and burn incense upon the hills, under oaks and poplars and elms, because the shadow thereof is good. Therefore your daughters shall commit whoredom, and your spouses shall commit adultery. I will not punish your daughters when they commit whoredom, nor your spouses when they commit adultery, for themselves are separated with whores, and they sacrifice with harlots. Therefore the people that doth not understand shall fall.
Okay, so like I had that highlighted. I just wanted to, I see why I had it highlighted, because it's from the one. I see why I had it highlighted. Hey, Shalom Lord Christ, what's going on? So that's why we starting from 15. Okay, I got it now. So like you.
I mean, that's the time to do what you say.
Yeah, come on.
I mean, he's saying that even I'm gonna let them commit whoredom on you, because you commit whoredom on me.
Right.
You know
exactly. Yeah, you want to be a hoe? Okay, well, I'm gonna let your daughters and your wives be hoes. How about that?
You feel my pain.
God, well, you gonna get 15 through 19 real quick.
All right, the book of Hosea 4:15. Though thou, Israel, play the harlot, yet let not Judah offend, and come not ye unto Gilgal, neither go ye up to Bethaven, nor swear, the Lord liveth. For Israel slideth back as a backsliding heifer. Now the Lord will feed them as a lamb in a large place. Ephraim is joined to idols. Let him alone. Their drink is sour. They have committed whoredom continually. Her rulers with shame do love give ye. The wind has bound her up in wings, and they shall be ashamed because of their sacrifice. Okay, so you know what I mean, we're giving you the true breakdown. You know what I'm saying? If you was in the Christian church, they'd be giving, like, you wouldn't even know what they was talking about. They would tell you like, oh yeah, this is why you shouldn't step out your marriage or something like that. But really, we're giving you the true breakdown of what the Bible truly means about this, the allegory of what the true topic is about the whole situation, and that is Israel
breaking the law. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans stepping out of the law and following heathen customs, heathen false idols. This is what these verses are truly about. You know what I mean? Understand what the true prophecy is talking about, because it's what the Bible is all about. Israel breaking the law, Israel being as whores, jumping into beds with different false idols, and then Israel being forgiven because the Lord is a merciful God. You know what I'm saying? So the Lord giving us options and ways of different type of ways of us, or sacrifices as well. You know what I mean? Our King, Yahweh Shai Mashiach, you know what I'm saying? Sacrificing his life in order for us to get back into the promise of marriage with the Lord. You know what I'm saying? Like, all these things coincide with each other. This is what the whole book of the Bible is all about. You know what I mean? And us getting into the prophecy of Christ ruling over this earth, getting us into salvation, getting us out of this place, getting out of Babylon, and getting us into safety, into our own kingdom, into our own place, subjected away from all the heathen nations, all their customs, and actually serving the Lord in the right way forever. You know what I mean? That's what the Bible is all about. You know what I mean? So we have to understand that this is what the prophets of old were speaking about. They're not speaking about a transfiguration of the law being accustomed to not just the nations of Israel, but to all nations. That's completely false. The all is the 12 tribes. Right. You know what I mean? But all right, let's get into it in Ezekiel. Ezekiel chapter 16, starting from verse 1. This is what Adonai was talking about. You know what I mean? I'm gonna get into why the Lord is using this as allegory for the promise. It's not nothing romantic. It has nothing to do with attraction. The Lord made a promise to us that we were going to be married onto him forever, and we broke that promise. We're the ones who committed adultery, and that's why he's comparing it to adultery. But he's saying he's going to take us back in, and he's going to allow us to start a new promise. Okay, and we're going to get that in Ezekiel chapter 16. Whenever you got it, I don't know.
The book of Ezekiel, chapter 16, and verse 1. And the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, cause Jerusalem to know her abomination. Mm-hmm. And say, Thus saith the Lord God unto Jerusalem, Thy birth and thy nativity is of the land of Canaan. Thy father was an Amorite, and thy mother a Hittite.
So he's just saying, like, you are what your father is. You know what I mean? Like, the way we acting is who we accustoming ourselves after. You know what I mean? We acting like straight heathens. You know what I mean? We accustom ourselves like heathens. And he's just naming certain few heathens. Go ahead.
And as for thy nativity, in the day thou wast born, thy navel was not cut. Mm-hmm. Neither was thou washed in water to supple thee.
So now we're being compared to a newborn baby. You know what I mean? Because this is when the Lord found us. You know what I mean? He found us as a small nation, dirty, poor, without no notoriety, no nothing. You know what I mean? But he's talking about how he found us and he made us into something. You know what I mean? Like, he's comparing us to a newborn baby that was just left on the side of the road, just dirty, naked, cold, afraid. Nobody wanted us. Nobody wanted to take care of us. But he found us, and he took us in, and he made us into royalty. This is what he's comparing it to. Go ahead.
Neither was thou washed in water to supple thee. Mm-hmm. Thou was not salted at all, nor swaddled at all. None I pity thee to do any of these unto thee. Mm-hmm. They have to have compassion upon thee, mm-hmm. But thou was cast out in the open field to the loathing of thy person. And in the day that thou was born, and when I passed by thee, I saw thee, mm-hmm. polluted in thy own blood. And I said unto thee, when thou wast in thy blood, live. Mm-hmm. Yea, I said unto thee, when I was in thy blood, live.
This is what the Lord is saying, what happened when he chose us, you know what I mean, as a nation. I mean, we were nothing. We were absolutely nothing. But he gave us an opportunity to be his people. And we were not pitied. Nobody cared about us. Salakia. I think I did. Are we live on Las Vegas?
Okay.
I think you meant YouTube.
I don't know about the YouTube. I seen it on Facebook.
Let me just ask real quick. But yeah, so what he's comparing us to is just a baby that was left on the side of the road. Nobody showed any type of heart to come and save us. They left us just naked, cold, and afraid, dirty, in the mud. And the Lord saw us, and he had compassion on us, and he came and helped us out. You can go ahead, other one.
Read 7. Ezekiel 16:7.
Yeah, go.
I have caused thee to multiply as the bud of the field, and thou hast increased in waxen great, and thou art come to excellent ornaments. Thy breasts are fashioned, and thine hair is grown, whereas thou wast naked and bare.
Mm-hmm.
Now when I passed by thee and I looked upon thee, behold, thy time was the time of love. And I spread my skirt over thee and covered thy nakedness. Yea, I swear unto thee and entered into a covenant with thee, saith the Lord God, and thou becamest mine. And I washed thee with water. Yea, I thoroughly washed away the blood from thee, and I anointed thee with oil. I clothed thee also with broidered work, and shod thee with badger skin, and girded thee with fine linen, and I covered thee with silk. I decked thee also with ornaments, and I put bracelets upon thy hands, and a chain on thy neck. I put a jewel on thy forehead, and earrings in thy ears, and a beautiful crown upon thine head. Thus wast thou decked with gold and silver, and thy raiment was of fine linen and silk embroidered work, and thou didst eat fine flour and honey and oil, and thou wast exceedingly beautiful, and didst prosper into a kingdom. And thy renown went forth from among the heathen for thy beauty, and it was perfect through all my comeliness, in which I have put upon thee, said the Lord, our power.
So the Lord is pretty much saying that, you know what I mean, it's so many different angles to what he's speaking about right now, but what he's saying is that he took a soulless, lawless people, and he gave them instruction. He gave them a promise. He gave them something that's more finer than the jewels and the silks and the oils, and he gave us something that was actually meaningful to us, because we were just nothing. We were absolutely nothing. We were left on the side of the road. Nobody cared about us. Nobody looked twice at us. We were like a baby that was on the side of the road in the mud, naked. You know what I mean? And he seen us, and then he brought us into a kingdom. You know what I mean? Which is what he did for Israel. Because you see the way that we're being treated right here in this heathen nation. You know what I'm saying? We're treated like dirt. We're treated like nothing. We're treated like scum. We're treated like people who actually have no value to themselves. You know what I mean? They're just here to be here. They're here to do the hard labor and to make sure that they succeed and they thrive in their successful nation. That's how we're treated. We're treated like dogs. People literally had to get beaten, unalived, shot with water hose, dogs sicked on them, protesting and all that stuff like that, just to feel as if they were human. You know what I'm saying? This is what we were doing not too long ago. You know what I mean? There's people still alive that remember those days. You know what I mean? Of us trying to fight just to be treated as humans, not even to be treated equally, just to be treated as humans. You know what I mean? We still have people who lived in those time periods. You know what I mean? So now it's like, you know what I mean? The same way that we were being treated back then is the same way that we're being treated now. And that's only because the Lord allowed us to be to get exactly what we wanted. We left that kingdom. We left those fine silks and fine linen and fine jewelry and all those things like that. We left it so we can go be on the side of the road again, be in the mud again. You know what I mean? We left all that. And then not just that, it get even worse. We didn't just leave all that stuff. We literally were so much whores that we gave up the good things that we did have just to find acceptance from the people who left us on the side of the road. But that's what this precept is going to. So we can keep going. We on 15? Yeah, we gonna go into we just keep going real quick because I think all of it kind of got to do with it. Well, I think we stopped at like 25 though.
Ezekiel 16 and 15. But thou didst trust in thy own beauty, and playest the harlot because of thy own renown.
That's a heavy verse. Not trusting in your own beauty, so you go and play a harlot for the acceptance of others. You know what I mean? Like this is a precept you should share with your daughters. You know what I'm saying?
It's like it said, thou did.
Didst trust?
Thou did trust.
Oh, okay. I thought it said didn't. Okay. So, all right. But I mean, it's still kind of all tag along with it because what we're going to do is it got a little bit too out there. And now we about to go give it to the heathen. Go ahead.
And thou didst play the harlot because of thy own renown. And pourest out my fornications. It's like and pourest out thy fornications on everyone that passed by.
Okay.
His it was. And of thy garments thou didst take and deckest thy high places with diverse colors and playest the harlot thereupon. So
now we sitting over here. We want to dress like them, be like them. You know what I mean? Follow their ways. Go ahead.
The light thing shall not come, neither shall it be so. Thou hast taken thy fair jewels of the gold and silver which I had given thee, and madest thyself images of men, and didst commit whoredom with them. And thou tookest thy embroidered garments, and coveredest them, and thou hast set mine oil and my incense before them. So
we done took all the good things that the Lord gave us, and we made false images for the heathen gods.
It's like, if I could,
come
just real quick, like what it sounded like to me is like kind of how when what we did back then, it was kind of how what we're doing now. When we say a heathen can be invited to a barbecue,
right?
Or when what is it? When like we see a heathen that got some type of a little flavor. You know what I'm saying? They're good at imitating us. And then now now accept them into our society, which we shouldn't in the first place.
Right.
We accept them into our society, and then from us accepting them into our society, we start to now what? Hey, Dan, so where'd you come from? What's this? Oh, well, y'all do that over there? Oh, well, yeah. Well, yeah, we can contribute to that. We can help out with that. We can be like that a little bit. We start to take away from what we did and start being like them and giving our honor into a strange nation. You know what I'm saying? And then in turn, that takes away from us. You know what I mean? Because now we're starting to be like them. It's like it.
And that also goes with when he's talking about like it gets polluted. Like, you know what I mean? Like we're taking something that's pure and it actually has a meaning to it and we're giving it to those who treat it like dirt.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Those who treat it like crap. You know what I'm saying? Like we're worse than a harlot. You know what I mean? A harlot don't pay to get effed. You know what I'm saying? A harlot don't pay for that. We overpaid to be accepted. We overpaid to be in the likeness of a heathen's custom. You know what I mean? We're like, okay, you on Fig and you working as a harlot, but when a car pull up, you say, oh, If you let me in your car, I'll give you $60. You know what I mean? That's what we did. You know what I'm saying? Like we not only are being harlots, not only being whores, but we're giving the good things that the Lord gave us and giving them amongst to those who have absolutely no value towards it. And we're trying to find some type of acceptance. So, you know what I mean? We're giving up the good things that the Lord gave us in order just to be, you know what I mean, treated like a prostitute. You know what I'm saying?
Keep going.
Where we at?
20.
Like 20, 19. Let me see. Yeah, kind of. Let's keep going.
Ezekiel 16 and 19. My meat also, which I give thee, fine flour, oil, and honey, wherewith I fed thee, thou hast even set it before them for a sweet Savior. And thus it was, saith the Lord God. Verse 20. Moreover, thou hast taken thy sons and thy daughters, whom thou hast borne unto me, and thou hast sacrificed them unto sacrifice them to be devoured. Is this of the whoredoms? Is this of thy whoredoms a small matter?
Man.
Thou hast slain my children and delivered them to the cause, and delivered them to cause them to pass through the fire for them. Verse 22, and in all thine abominations and thy whoredoms, thou hast not remembered the days of thy youth, when thou was naked and bare, and was polluted in thy blood. And it came to pass after all thy wickedness, woe unto thee, said the Lord God.
So if I may, real quick, you know what I mean? You wouldn't understand how much I see this every day. You know what I mean? Mothers who were probably abused by their mom's boyfriend or their uncle or something like that. You know what I mean? They continue to keep bringing random men in their house. They continue to keep smoking blunts in front of their kids and trying to destroy their kids. Like, it's just like you see so much destruction that our people faced and pass it down to the generation that's after them. You know what I'm saying? And it's like without no shame at all. It's like it's forcefully being pushed down. You know what I mean? Like the destruction that our people are feeling and the destruction that our people had to deal with, we have no issues with bringing it down to the child. You know what I mean? And that is just one thing. Like, you got a lot of women taking their kids away from their fathers, knowing that the father just wants to be a loving father, but they bitter upon the relationship. You know what I mean? So they feel as if, you know what I mean, okay, the only way I can get to him is through this child. So even if it costs the child being destroyed, I'm about to use the father. Or, you know what I mean? Oh, I just can't stop smoking weed. I can't stop doing drugs. So even if I got to hot box this car while the baby seat is in the back of the back seat, I'm about to hot box this blunt because I need to get high. And that's my life choice. I need to get high so bad that even my baby gonna have to endure this hot box just because I need to get high so bad. You know what I mean? Like, the Lord is saying, like, you know what I mean? Not only do you destroyed yourself, you pass this down from generation to generation to generation. You know what I'm saying? And he's saying, like, it's just woe unto thee. Death and destruction. Death and destruction is the results of our actions, the results of us disobeying these laws, statutes, and commandments. Let's allow you. We start off on 24. So we kind of get the gist of that. Okay, so can I get verse 32 through 40 through 32 through 42 real quick?
Ezekiel 16 and 32. But as a wife that committeth adultery, which taketh the strangers instead of her husband, they give gifts to all whores, but thou givest thy gifts to all lovers, and hirest them, that they may come come unto thee on every side for thy whoredom.
And this is what we was talking about we're worse than whores. We don't just sleep with other gods and sleep with other idols to receive a gift. We give our gifts and the good things that we had just to be with those idols. But go ahead.
And the contrary is in thee from other women in thy whoredom.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas none followeth thee to commit whoredom, and in that thou givest a reward, and no reward is given unto thee. Therefore thou art contrary.
So we being sluts without even getting paid for it. Go ahead.
Wherefore, O harlot, hear the word of the Lord. Thus saith the Lord God, because thy filthiness was poured out, and thy nakedness discovered through thy whoredoms with thy lovers, with all the idols of thy abominations, and by the blood of thy children, which thou didst give unto them. Behold, therefore I will gather all thy lovers, with whom thou hast taken pleasure, and all of them that thou hast loved, with all of them thou hast hated. I will even gather them round about against thee, and they will discover thy nakedness unto them, that they may see all thy nakedness. And I will judge thee as the woman that breaks wedlock and shed blood unjudged. I will give thee blood and fury and jealousy. And I will also give thee into their hand, and they shall throw down thy inmate place, and break down thy high places, and shall strip thee also of thy clothes, and they shall take their fair jewels, and shall leave thee naked and bare. And they shall also bring up a company against thee, and they shall stone thee with stones, and thrust thee through with their swords. And they shall burn thine houses with fire, and execute judgments upon thee in the sight of many women. And I will cause thee to cease from playing the harlot, that thou shalt give no hire anymore. Keep going.
Yeah, just verse 42, and that's it.
So will I make my fury toward the rest, and my jealousy shall depart from thee, and I will be quiet, and will be no more angry.
Okay, so Zalakia, you know what I mean? It's a lot of reading, but we're doing exactly what the churches, Catholic churches, all of them do not do, which is read the scriptures and really get the breakdown of exactly what's going on. This is why you see that the Lord cannot love all nations, that salvation is not for the whole world. This is why you see that, because the Lord is speaking on that he's going to allow the nations that we chose to lie our heads with, to serve their gods, to serve their customs. He's going to allow them to have their way with us. You want them so bad? Okay, I'm allowed, because he was protecting us. He was protecting us from the people who hated us the most. But now, because we have this liking to them so much to the point where we have to give up everything that we got, the things that we cherish, the things that he's given us, we give it to them as a gift so they can have acceptance to us. We give it as an offering to their false idols. The Lord is going to allow them to have their way with us for a time. But because he loves us so much, he's going to give us another chance, which, you know what I mean, you got to think about it. You come home from work, a long day of working, you coming home, you thinking you're going to have a hot meal on the table, you think your family going, you know what I mean, your rib done put the kids to sleep, and you just think you're just going to be able to kick your feet up, relax, you know what I mean, take a shower and be able to relax in your home, watch your favorite TV show. But then you come home from a long day of work and you see a man in your bed sleeping with your rib. You know what I'm saying? This is what the Lord is comparing our treachery to. You know what I'm saying? Us breaking the law is that same, how can I say? The allegory is being compared to that. You know what I'm saying? Because the Lord took us from a low state. We were treated like a baby on the side of the road, butt naked, and just people just passing over us, didn't have no sympathy for us, no nothing. But the Lord seen us and had compassion for us, made us into a people, multiplied us, gave us a kingdom, gave us, clothed us, washed us, gave us good food, gave us good jewelry, gave us a whole kingdom. You know what I mean? And what do? We fall right back into the same state that we were at from the same people who neglected us, ignored us, left us to die. We went to them. You know what I mean? And the Lord came and saved us, but we left him to go lay with them, to go be with them. This is all a roundup of what he's trying to tell us. You know what I mean? And the love that he has for us, to be able to even still at that moment, because a lot of us wouldn't forgive our ribs in a situation like that. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that it's lawful, because it's not lawful to take your rib back if she sleeps with another man. And that's how you know that this is not this is just a comparison. It's just a metaphor. It's not actually the Lord breaking the law by bringing us back. No, he's not breaking the law, because the marriage is not it's not consummated. It's a promise that he made to us. And he's just comparing it to a marriage. You know what I mean? But really, in true marriage, if your rib, you know what I mean, is with another man, then that's his husband. You know what I mean? Or that's his wife. You know what I'm saying? But the Lord is just making a comparison of what truly the love that he feels for us is, and the true treachery that we're committing. You know what I mean? Because a lot of brothers have unalived themselves because of a broken marriage or a broken relationship. You know what I mean? A lot of brothers have left the truth because of broken marriages and broken relationships. You know what I'm saying? So it gives you the detail of that emotion. When a brother feels that his rib has gone and been with another man, you know what I'm saying? That's the same thing that the Lord is comparing it to, about us breaking the law and going and lying with other gods. You know what I mean? Lying with false idols, fake gods. You know what I'm saying? That's what the Lord is comparing it to. You know what I mean? So to compare to be something that cuts that deep, it just means that we're really, really messing up. You know what I'm saying? But the Lord still loves us enough to take us in and create a new covenant, a new promise that, hey, okay, you know what I mean? I'm gonna give you this option. You know what I mean? I'm gonna send my son. My son is gonna do the ultimate sacrifice. He's gonna give us a chance to be able to get it right and do it right from here on out forevermore. You know what I'm saying? Now, how we go about it is how we go about it from here. You know right from wrong. You know the law. You know the statutes and commandments. Now, how are you going to live your life? Are you going to continue to keep on lying in bed with heathen customs, false idols? Or are you going to actually take the wrongs that you've done, which was committing adultery, you know what I mean, lying in bed with different heathen customs, different heathen idols, and changing your ways around? You know what I'm saying? That's where the true test is at. You know what I'm saying? So we have to have a full-on understanding about that. You know what I mean? The Bible is not speaking about the Lord switching up his ways and then just allowing to be married on to everyone. What he's doing is he's poetically documenting a relationship he has with his people and how his people wronged him and how we are going to actually get it right. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. You know what I'm saying? It's all poetic. It's beautiful. You know what I'm saying? These comparisons, we should find them as beautiful. It should make us want to serve him better. It should make us want to be more zealous in our walk and going through this fire. You know what I'm saying? It should build something up in us and make us more zealous to the Lord, because he could have easily just cut us off. He had every right to. You know what I mean? He had every right to do away with us and get rid of us, but he allowed us to have another chance. Now, we still are walking in this fire. We still are walking through, you know what I mean, Babylon the Great. So we're going to have to deal with the motions of being in Babylon the Great. That just comes with it. You know what I mean? But we have to set the example. We have to set the ones who are in this body, who are following the Lord in the right path, the right way. We have to be examples to others to not commit adultery again. You know what I mean? To not want to do drugs again, to not want to celebrate these wicked holidays again, to not want to, you know what I mean, invest ourselves into a heathen lifestyle, and putting our spirits in this nation. We have to really, really know that whenever we break the law, it's no different than that feeling of walking in and seeing your rib laid up with another man. You know what I'm saying? This is what God's comparing it to. So we have to take that and really, really correct ourselves and really set ourselves in a path where we can break that law, we can break that promise no more at all. And we will be put to the test, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, you know, if you really have true love for the Lord, you will not put him in a position where he has to feel like that again. You know what I'm saying? Right. Feel like he just walked in from a long day of work and just seen his bride in the bed with another man. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it's about. That's what this Bible is all about. So we got 2 more precepts, and where we at? Got 15 more minutes. 2 more precepts real quick. I just want to get into well, we got into who's the bride, we got into who's the groom. So we're gonna go into examples of Christ talking about, you know what I mean, well, he's putting a like into the kingdom of heaven, and then we're gonna get into let's see. We don't get into Revelations. We can go to Revelations first. If I can get out of one real quick, Revelations 12 and verse 3. Revelations 12, verse 3 through 10. We don't get into who's the she, because a lot of people are confused of how Revelations go. Revelations is allegory, metaphors. It's all wrapped up into, you know what I mean, things that are written in the Bible. Even when they speak about, you know what I mean, the robes is white. You know what I mean? They're talking about the ones that are truly following God and not turning away and putting any type of stain on their robes. And all these things coincide with each other, but it's all within the allegory. They all coincide with each other. You know what I'm saying? So in Revelations, it's speaking about Christ coming out of Israel. You know what I mean? But you won't know who the she is unless you understand what the Bible is truly speaking about. So that's why I wanted to get into who the she is, who the bride is, so you know who the she is speaking about in Revelation chapter 12.
The book of Revelation chapter 3, chapter 12, verse 3. And there appeared another wonder in the heaven, and behold, a great red dragon, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and 7 crowns upon his heads. And with his tail drew the third part of the stars of heaven, and did cast them to the earth. And the dragon stood before the woman which was ready to be delivered.
So the dragon being that old serpent, that old deceitful person, the same nations that was deceiving Eve, you know what I mean? Like that old serpent, you know what I mean? Being deceitful, a deceitful person, you know what I mean? We already know what nations we're speaking about. There's no need to clarify that. You know what I mean? What nations are you living under today? What nations put you in slavery? What nations have abused you for hundreds and thousands of years? You know what I mean? Like, it's not really a lot to clarify about who those the dragon is. You know what I mean? But the dragon is standing from the woman bearing to give birth to a child. That child being Christ, that woman being Israel. Go ahead.
The dragon stood before the woman which was ready to be delivered, for to devour her child as soon as it was born. And she brought forth a man child who was to rule all nations with a rod of iron. And her child was caught up unto God, into his throne. And the woman fled into the wilderness, where she had a place prepared unto God, and that they should feed her for 1,260 days.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels.
So we're talking about the day of judgment that's going on right now in these scriptures. Like, you know what I mean? It's getting into that woman giving birth to a child, which is Christ. Christ coming out of the nation of Israel, you know what I mean? Coming out of the tribe of Judah, you know what I mean? And that woman is Israel. Now, it's speaking in allegory of the woman and the child, because not everybody needs to have all this knowledge. You know what I mean? Because the ones who can get a hold of this knowledge, who hate us, will manipulate the scriptures, will mislead us, and make us feel like the dragon is something else. The dragon is probably like a fallen angel that disobeyed God, and you know what I mean? But this is why the Bible is speaking in allegory, because not everybody needs to have this knowledge. You know what I mean? Christ said that. You know what I mean? It's not for everybody to understand. And even if you did try to tell them to understand, they wouldn't take it anyways. You know what I mean? Some people are just not going to withhold this knowledge. Some people are not going to be able to understand it. You know what I mean? It's made like that. But where we leave off on verse 9.
Verse 9. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent, which the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now is come salvation and strength in the kingdom of our God, and the God of his Christ. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before our God day and night. And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb, and by the word of his testimony, and they loved not their lives unto death.
Okay, so that's good. You know what I mean? That's getting into who the she is. You know what I mean? Because if you understand who the bride is, you understand who the she is, who's giving birth. You know what I mean? And Israel gave birth unto Christ, who was going to rule this world with an iron sword. You know what I'm saying? And he's not coming to be planted as a king, but he's going to take his throne. Okay, so the last precept I got is Matthew chapter 25 and verse 1, and we can end it off on that. And this is Christ comparing the kingdom of heaven to 10 wives. There's a reason I'm bringing this out. We're going to get into it.
The book of Matthew, chapter 25, verse 1. Then shall the kingdom of heaven be likened unto 10 virgins, which took their lamps and went forth to their bridegroom.
So this is 10 virgins, 10 women waiting to be married, going to go meet their bridegroom. So they have 10 lamps. Each woman has a lamp, and they're getting prepared for the wedding. Go ahead.
And the 5 of them were wise, and 5 of them were foolish. And they that were foolish took their lamps and took no oil with them. But the wise took oil in their vessels with their lamps. And the bridegroom tarried. They slumbered and slept. And at midnight there was a cry made, behold, the bridegroom cometh. Go ye out and meet him.
So these 10 women waiting to be married with these 10 lamps, 5 of them put oil in their lamps, getting ready for the bridegroom to show up. 5 of them didn't, because they didn't know when the bridegroom was going to show up. You know what I'm saying? But 5 are prepared and 5 weren't. We on 6? Okay, come on.
And at midnight there was a cry made, and behold, the bridegroom cometh, go ye out to meet him. Then all those virgins arose and trimmed their lamps. And the foolish said unto the wise, give us your oil, for our lamps are gone out. But the wise answered, saying, not so, lest there be not enough for us and you. But go ye rather to them that sell, and buy for yourselves. And while they went to buy, the bridegroom came. And they that were ready went in with him to the marriage, and the door was shut. Afterward came also the other virgins, saying, Lord, Lord, open unto us. But he answered and said, verily I say unto you, I know you not. Watch therefore, for you know neither the day nor the hour whereon the Son of Man cometh. For the kingdom of heaven is as a man traveling into a far country, who called his own servants and delivered them unto his own goods.
Okay, that's good. So what we getting here is another metaphor of Israel being the bride again. You know what I mean? 10 brides at that. 5 brides were ready and prepared and waiting for Christ's return. Five brides were not. You know what I mean? Five brides put oil in their candles, ready for just in case if he showed up at night or he showed up at a time unexpectedly, then they will be prepared and ready for them to come to their bridegroom. You know what I'm saying? And 5 didn't. 5 just were just like, okay, well, it's the middle of the night, and we don't need to do all that. And more than likely, he ain't gonna pull up. You know what I mean? So the 5 that were ready, when they heard the cry saying that the bridegroom is to come, they were prepared. And the other brides who were expecting to be married unto the bridegroom, you know what I mean, weren't ready, and they fell short. And when they came and approached the wedding, the bridegroom, which being Christ at the time period, said, I don't even know you. I don't know who you are. You know what I'm saying? So just getting into who the groom is, who the bridegroom is, who the bride is, and who the harlots are. The harlot and the brides are Israel. You know what I mean? We're only the brides if we continue to keep our covenant. You're a harlot when you sleep onto different nations. You know what I mean? Different idols. You know what I mean? You're being a whore. You're being a harlot. You know what I'm saying? So, and not just that, you don't want to be, not only do you not want to be a harlot, not only do you not want to be considered as an harlot, you don't want to be considered as a person who knows Christ, knows how to follow Christ, and is not prepared because they did what they wanted to do because they were lagging. You know what I'm saying? So be that bride who, what is recommended for, you know what I mean, a wife? Silent, submissive, virtuous, meaning having different skills, and you know what I mean, bringing what you can into this body. You know what I mean, bringing what you can into this, into just that's where the allegory comes from. You know what I'm saying? Like be that, be silent, learn. You know what I mean, until it's your turn to teach. Be virtuous. Have a skill that you can bring within this body. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, when the time comes where this nation is falling apart, every different gift is going to mean something. You know what I'm saying? Every different gift is going to come into usefulness. You know what I'm saying? So be virtuous. Find a skill. Find something. You know what I'm saying? Find something that you can be skillful in. Be just be submissive. I mean, whatever the Lord requires you to do, which is just to follow the law and to get in this body and do the work. You know what I mean? He's not asked for much. Just do that. You know what I'm saying? Be submissive. Submit yourself. You know what I mean? Submit your whole life. Give your whole life onto this, unto the groom. You know what I'm saying? Which is the Lord. And know that at the end of the day, you know what I mean, that divorce that was put on us will be stripped away, and the Lord will remarry onto us. You know what I mean? He's always going to be married to Israel. It's an everlasting covenant. We missed that part on the precepts, but that's what it says. Everlasting means forever. It's not going to ever stop. His covenant to Israel will never stop. You know what I mean? That doesn't tie into other nations being involved. That's just saying that the same promise that he made for Israel back then will be the same promise he's going to have for us today, as long as we're willing to change and acknowledge what he said, acknowledge the fact that we were wrong and that we were sinning. Have some type of animosity and self-awareness of what you did wrong and change. That's it. That's what he's requiring. You know what I mean? It's not hard. If it is hard, then it's hard. But as you're gonna find out after you get past the test of getting through, you know what I mean, the things that you used to do that you don't do anymore, you're gonna see that it wasn't hard. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of things that could be much harder. You know what I'm saying? All in all, be the Lord's bride. Be useful unto him. Be submissive. Be virtuous. Be modest. Be righteous. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, you playing the role of being his bride. You know what I mean? Being his bride. You are committing to the promise that you made to him. And what's the promise? We gonna serve these laws, and we're gonna make him our God forever. We're gonna make him our highest power forever. And a lot of people fell short, and we've made a lot of heathen gods, you know what I mean, that power. But now it's time for us to step away from that spirit. It's time for us to step away from that lifestyle. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's time for us to get back into our customs, into our culture, and really follow God the true way. You know what I'm saying? And this is for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, because we are truly lost in this nation, and we are truly in a stage where we can actually make a change right now, while things are changing, while we see that that our oppressor doesn't have it all together and he's falling apart. You know what I mean? Take that and take advantage of that. You know what I mean? Know who the true power is. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people just want to be whores and they just want to fall into who got the bigger bag. At the end of the day, nobody wants to box with God.
Right.
That's a true fact. You know what I mean? And we're gonna see that pretty soon. But with that, you know what I mean? I'm going to say Shalom, Yahweh Shem Yahshua Barakathum to the brothers, Yahweh Shamar, the Thumb Bashim Yahshua to the sisters, and the water for tuning in.